Normally, we go to a gun shop to purchase the rifle that we feel comfortable with, and obviously, the one that we like. But did you know you can make the rifle even better for you if you make some adjustments? Kristy Titus has some advice on length of pull, cheek piece height, and more. Kristy is an NRA certified refuse to be a victim and basic pistol instructor with a love of the outdoors, which can be seen in so many ways. She supports wildlife, habitat conservation, and outdoor education.
Whether you're heading to the rifle range or you're going afield, having a properly fitted rifle is really important. If your rifle does not fit you correctly, as a shooter, it's really difficult to find that natural place behind the rifle. The first consideration you want to make when it comes to fitting your rifle is the length of pull. And the length of pull is measured from the trigger shoe here to the buttstock of the rifle. Now, this measurement is going to directly affect how you mount the rifle and how your hand reaches the grip and manipulates the trigger. Now, if you don't know how to measure your length of pull, you may need to have a professional help you with that. But luckily for us, once you have that measurement, there's a lot of really awesome stocks on the market out there that are accommodating to smaller statured shooters, such as this one that has a removable spacing system into the stock of the rifle that can be built up or taken down to fit multiple shooters. Another example is from a tactical style stock that offers a real ease of adjustability that's built in. Some factory rifles are designed with smaller shooters in mind, such as this one, and you don't need to make any modification to it as it already fits us smaller people. Your last option would be to take your factory rifle and have the buttstock of the rifle cut down at a gunsmith to fit you as the individual. Next, you want to evaluate your cheek piece height, and this is where you're going to evaluate your shooter's cheek in relation to the rifle stock comb. If your rifle is like this one, it may not have an adjustable cheek piece, so you can include an aftermarket cheek piece like this one. Ideally, what we're trying to do here is create a platform that allows the shooter to get behind the optic and have a full sight picture without making any adjustments. There are also some really cool rifle stocks on the market that offer multiple cheek pieces to be sold as a kit. And so you can replace each cheek comb depending on the shooter using the rifle. So a simple removal like this and replacement of the cheek comb. And this rifle stock now accommodates multiple shooters. Next, you want to determine that your optic eye relief is set up to fit you as the shooter in the most natural way possible. Now, this is going to vary from person to person, so there's a couple of things we need to test. And what we're looking for is that our eye is at the correct distance from the ocular lens of this scope so that we have a full sight picture when we're behind the rifle. So to test this, we're gonna start with our optic on maximum magnification. We're gonna get behind the rifle and shoulder it, go through a complete breath cycle with our eyes closed. And when we open our eyes, if we don't have a complete sight picture, if there's any scope shadowing, then we want to adjust the scope forwards or backwards in order to achieve a full sight picture. And the last thing we want to consider is your grip. And ideally, we want to position our grip around our trigger finger. So insert your finger into the trigger, place your hand in the grip, and correct placement will allow you as the shooter to apply a steady rearward pressure on the trigger without pulling the rifle to the left or right. I know this seems like probably a lot of things to evaluate on your rifle, but I promise you that having a rifle that fits you as an individual shooter will be, number one, more comfortable for you, and you're gonna be a lot more confident and competent. Your downrange shots are going to improve, and you're gonna have a ton more fun because your rifle fits you as an individual.
Thanks, Kristy. If you follow Kristy's tips after you buy your rifle, your trip to the range or your hunting experience will be more enjoyable and successful. Another thing to consider is getting a good quality recoil pad, like this one, that will help you absorb the shock from the recoil of your rifle. If you're purchasing your first firearm or you are new to shooting, remember to be safe and keep the finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. Review all the safety rules thoroughly and often. You will see yourself grow more comfortable with each shot, while at the same time, you are safe. I am Gabby Franco, And I'll see you next time in another episode of Tips and Tactics, sponsored by Cabela's Outdoor Fun.